Ooh. Let's go. Good morning, Roll Gang.
And welcome on into this episode of the Weekday
Wake and Bake. Let's go. Let's get it.
Good?
It's fucking Friday. Yeah, that was bomb, actually.
We're working on the intro and when I should come in and everything, so.
It was honestly perfect timing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bang. Let's fucking get it. Happy Friday, all the Roll Gangsters tuning in on all the streaming platforms. Absolutely love to sesh with you guys every weekday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. But honestly, Friday's gotta be the best day of the week, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got hella vibes here on Friday. What's today's theme of the show?
Pop Culture Friday.
Pot Culture Friday, your latest and greatest in pop culture news while we smoke up some pot, just like we do every weekday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific, because, after all, it's only stoner law that we have awoke. We are blessed to have awoke, so we are blessed to have a smoke. And start our beautiful Friday morning off on the right foot. Session with the Roll Gangsters. Rachel's got, what, three fresh pop culture stories?
Yeah, I do. I have 3, and that's all for today. We kind of need to keep it...
No, that's what we normally do. 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 3 yesterday.
Perfect.
No, we had 4 yesterday. We had 3 the day before for sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 or 4 news stories normally. Today's
normally 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3-story day today. Some pop culture news. Super excited to get on into it with you guys. So the question we wanted to ask y'all while we get this show going officially is, what's your favorite in pop culture news this week? What have you been paying attention to in your lives? Would absolutely love to hear what your minds have been focused on in the world of pop culture, what you've been watching, or if you've been hearing any great news. But anyways, we are going to give a major shout out to all the Roll Gangsters and the sponsors of the show, right, Rach?
Of course, so shout out to the first sponsor of the show, WWnB University, the first ever cannabis college, a great place to go and get all the cannabis knowledge that you need on the industry, whichever category that is, if that's bud tending, growing, business, whatever it is, WWnB has you. Don't forget that promo code Rolling Spoon. It's 10% off for in-person or online. So completely up to you. And then, of course, shout out to the Rolling Spoon, the handy-dandy cannabis multi-tool. The reason why we're able to do this fun little weekday wake and bake. So shout out to the Rolling Spoon. And back over to you.
And also a major special shout out to all the Roll Gangsters tuning in on all of the streaming platforms. We absolutely love to sesh with you guys every weekday morning. Super refreshing. If you guys are tuning in to the Weekday Wake and Bake for the very first time today, we go live on the Rolling Spoon channels every weekday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific to smoke up some herbs and get updated on the latest and greatest in news categories. We got good news every Monday morning. We got new cannabis products on Tuesday, Reviews Day. Sports news on Wednesday. Cannabis industry news on Thursday. And then today's show, Friday, what do we got going on, Rachel?
Pop culture.
Pop culture news. So some pop culture on the show today. Really excited to hear what Rachel has, what stories Rachel has procured for us while I finish up rolling this joint. Do you want to get on into the first story?
Of course. So the first story that we have today is about one of the world's favorite gingers, I'd say. Maybe their favorite or most hated.
I'd say Ron Weasley.
Well,
Lindsay Lohan? Oh, maybe I'm off. One of the world's most famous gingers. Who we got?
we have Ed Sheeran in the house today.
You're right.
Mr. Ed Sheeran is being sued $100 million by the descendants, the kids, the family of Marvin Gaye. There's been some videos that have gone around for quite some time about him performing his song, Thinking Out Loud, and then transitioning it into one of Marvin Gaye's most famous songs. And his family felt like Ed Sheeran was taking advantage of their father's legacy and decided to sue him for $100 million. And that's been, I mean, I can't even imagine if that's him. Like, from what I've heard, Ed Sheeran looked up to him and everything.
Yeah.
Like, he's just trying to pay tribute to it. It's not necessarily like
I
marketing
guarantee
gig or
Marvin Gaye would be so pissed at his family.
I mean, me too. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's not like taking away from anything that Marvin Gaye's done, you know? If anything, it's just paying respect to it and keeping the song alive.
Right.
You know? If
It's
anything,
a tribute.
It's making it more popular again and stuff. So.
It's a celebration of life.
Yeah, but
Like,
I mean...
what the fuck? If I made a song and I died, I hope people still play my music when I die.
Especially somebody like Ed Sheeran who plays for tens of thousands of people at a time. You know?
Imagine that.
It's
like,
just huge
Marvin
exposure.
Gaye's in heaven loving the cover, and his family's out here suing Ed Sheeran for, you know, that's a really, really crazy story.
Yeah, and from what I heard, like, Ed Sheeran was like, if I don't win this, like, I'm done. Like, I'm done with music. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I mean, I actually understand that because, like, I feel like everything now gets criticized. Everything now. I don't want to say like everyone is overly sensitive.
It's getting that way.
It's getting that way, 100%. And I think that we need to take a step back and find the balance that everybody should be staying in. But
why so fucking serious, family of Marvin Gaye?
But he was found not guilty after all.
Let's go.
So
cheers to that. Yeah. Ed Sheeran clearing his name.
Clearing his name for
good Lord.
Basically paying tribute to somebody else. So yeah, that's
a juicy story.
The amount of stress he must have gone through and everything. But he pulled through. We're thinking out loud about him.
Yeah. Honestly, a fucking juicy story here on this Pop Culture Friday. No?
No, thank you.
But, yeah, Ed Sheeran definitely deserving to be cleared of his name with this one.
For sure.
Yeah. If I was Marvin Gaye, I'd be so proud to have my song covered.
I don't want to, like, be judgmental or anything in a way, but I feel like Marvin Gaye's descendants family would be pretty well off in a sense. So I
guess
don't know.
not.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean.
They blew
I guess
it
not
all.
if they needed $100 million. But all right, moving on into the next story on this Pop Culture Friday.
Let's do it.
We have Kid Leroy arrested for dining and dashing.
Oh, Kid Leroy, the famous musician.
Talk about maybe needing some money or something.
Honestly, I don't even think that would be the case.
Here's the thing. I could see it being... Like, I've worked as a server and stuff before. Like, sometimes I understand, like, if the waiter's really busy. And then I also think when it comes to people who are famous and feel a little bit more entitled in a sense, like they should be getting the best service, like their bills should, like when they ask for it, they should get it. And if that server was a little bit busy, I could see him being, I mean, I don't know the man personally. I don't want to like just judge him blatantly and say I think you would just be the type to just stand up and walk out. But like at the same time,
I would love to hear his side of the story.
Yeah, 100%. But I just feel like my impression of this story is like egos of the more famous people and stuff like that. But
I bet he thought like his manager was gonna cover it.
And I was gonna say maybe
you know?
something else. Like he has people.
He wasn't
that
eating
normally does
alone.
that. Yeah.
Like he thought whoever was eating with them was gonna cover it.
Yeah.
You know, like, or at least put his card down. You know?
Or something.
Like his manager.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's probably more of like a misunderstanding of some sorts.
Yeah.
Miscommunication and led to that, but.
Honestly, shout out my little sister though. We did one time, and it's not because we couldn't pay for the meal. We actually like. It was gonna be our New Year's present from our parents. Like we weren't even gonna pay for it, but the waiting staff was not helping us. The waiting staff was completely blatantly ignoring us. Like we were sitting, and then we were waiting for a half hour, and then we were like 10 minutes. We'll consider leaving. You know, like how long do y'all want us to wait? We haven't even seen anyone. Like. It was crazy, New Year's Eve, but we're not gonna get any more detail on that. Yeah. What's the last story we got? Or before we get on in, major shout out, Oaksterdam and the Rolling Spoon, main headlining sponsors of every episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake, making this show possible and helping out the Roll Gangsters along the way. So yeah, what's the last piece of pop culture news here on this Pop Culture Friday?
The last piece of pop culture news is that the AIs are taking over the music industry. If your house is anything like mine, there has been AI Drake and Travis Scott and The Weeknd and many others that have been playing in this house, and
the
you
AIs
want to go into more detail about that because you're the one that is obsessed.
It's just really fucking good music produced by a computer that sounds exactly like Drake and The Weeknd. Like flows, lyrics, Metro Boomin on the productions, and none of the artists were involved in the creation of this music. Honestly, a fucking crazy futuristic problem for all these artists. We're gonna have to just keep an eye on this and see where it goes. But first time we're mentioning it, the AIs are making Drake sound, you know? And if you guys haven't heard it, go look up AI Drake song. It's unbelievable that it's not actually Drake.
And I have to give it to the AI, like it is actually really good, and it sounds exactly like Drake, and it sounds like lyrics he would write or his people would write or whatever, whoever writes it. Yeah, it definitely does. I think that if it grows and continues and Drake wants to like defend his title in a sense, to be like I'm the OG, like I'm Drake. I think that Drake should go up against AI Drake in like a rap battle or something and see how that went.
He would lose.
That's what I mean though. He would lose. Yeah. But that's just something we'll probably be talking about a little bit more in the future. I feel like it's not necessarily just gonna get swept under the rug. It's definitely gonna.
This is like, we talk about it every week. You know, AIs are actually taking over. Like, I promise, every year there's going to be dramatic changes, and AI is going to be the number one draw for change coming up. It is scary, it's exciting, but for one thing's for sure, you can get stoned and stay latest and greatest, up to datest on the Weekday Wake and Bake with your hosts, Authentic Rach at Authentic Rach on Instagram and at Processor_Sky on Instagram. Your favorite stoned news anchor people.
That's us.
Great Pop Culture Friday, Rachel.
Thank you. Short and sweet.
You killed it.
Short and sweet.
I love not having to come up with the news stories and not knowing what we'll talk about.
Happy Friday.
It's always juicy. Love you guys. We will see you on Monday morning for some good news. We're going to be back at it. It'll be our first in 2 weeks because we're fucking degens and we're restarting our streak. But honestly, if we're to make it the whole way to the future, there's gonna be a couple days we miss. Shout out our streak, 314 episodes in a row, and shout out to 314 more. So, absolutely love all the Roll Gangsters. And what's up? We'll see them on Monday?
Yeah, see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Mwah! See ya on Monday.